Have you ever wondered about the secrets your hands might hold? Palmistry, the ancient practice of predicting the future by studying the lines and features of the palm, is still actively practiced today. People who do palmistry are called palmists, hand readers, or chirologists. It's an ancient practice found all over the world with different variations in different cultures. In the past, notable individuals such as the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle and the king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon, Alexander the Great, were intrigued by palmistry. It was even considered one of the forbidden arts during the Renaissance, along with other mystical practices. After a while, people didn't pay much attention to palm reading. But in the 19th century, it got popular again as people became interested in strange phenomenon. One influential figure in modern palmistry was Cairo, an Irish astrologer and a colorful occult figure of the early 20th century, who gained a following by reading the palms of famous people, such as Mark Twain and Oscar Wilde. People also try to make palmistry more scientific, like the book called The Laws of Scientific Hand Reading. We're not exactly sure where palmistry started. It might have begun a long time ago in India and then traveled to other places. The way the Roma tell fortunes might have come from palmistry in India. But for today's show, we'll be looking at the 4 main ways people do palmistry in India, Myanmar, China, and the Western approach. Palmistry is practiced by the Hindu Brahmins. Indian palmistry, known as Samudrika, has a rich history that spans thousands of years in India. Samudrika Sastra is a study that looks at people's faces, auras, and bodies. It's part of Indian astrology and is all about understanding what someone's body features can tell us. The name Samudrika Sastra means knowledge of body features in Sanskrit. This ancient practice is rooted in cultural traditions and beliefs. By closely examining the lines, shapes, and features of the hand, Samudrika practitioners offer insights into a person's unique strengths and potential, guiding them towards a better understanding of themselves and their life's direction. Indian palmists usually know a lot about astrology too, so they combine what they know about the stars with what they see in the hands. In Myanmar, where most people practice Buddhism, there's also a strong belief in various methods of predicting the future. This belief stems from the idea that events in one's life are linked to both good and bad actions from their past lives. The people of Myanmar are notably superstitious, placing their faith in practices such as astrology and divination. Those who specialize in fortune-telling, numerology, and celestial studies often set up their stands near Buddhist temples, becoming integral to Buddhist festivals and gatherings. Seeking guidance from well-known palm readers and astrologers whose writings are published in local newspapers has become a common practice for many. People flock to these practitioners with the hope of unraveling the mysteries of their future. Often, these fortune tellers can be found in the vicinity of pagodas, which hold special significance in Buddhism. Now let's head on over to China. Chinese palmistry has a very old history that goes back to the Zhou dynasty. It goes beyond just looking at lines on the palm and includes ideas like the 5 elements and Bagua theories. The 5 elements theory is a Chinese idea that says everything in nature is connected to 5 important elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. These elements have their own qualities and powers, and they interact with each other in special ways. The Bagua theory is part of Feng Shui, a Chinese practice that helps make our surroundings feel balanced and good. With all these ideas combined together, Chinese palmistry gives a complete picture of a person's future and personality. Chinese palmistry also works together with face reading to really understand a person. It looks at things like how someone looks, talks, walks, and moves. This knowledge can even help predict things like health, marriage, wealth, career, and what will happen in the future. It's interesting to note that in Chinese palmistry, they focus on the left hand for males and the right hand for females. Finally, in the Western way of looking at palmistry, it's divided into two parts. Chirognomy looks at things like how the palm feels, its shape and color. Chiromancy, on the other hand, focuses on the lines, shapes, and signs on the palm. These two parts work together to help us understand a person's personality and what they might be capable of. When you're reading palms, it's important to look at both hands, the left and the right. The hand you use less often tells us about who you are naturally, and the hand you use more shows us how you've used your skills. Both hands together give us a complete picture of a person. Thank you so much for tuning in into Mystery Miner's Unseen Universe. We got more interesting tales lined up for you, so make sure you come back and join us again.